You know, every time we come into a new year, there's always that new year, new me thing that people say, but for me personally, I'm gonna keep living fast, hitting on Golden Kamuy, and putting out some banger manga hauls. Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Pramaji. Welcome back to a brand new video. Now, as you can probably tell by the title, the thumbnail, and several context clues, today I have a brand new manga haul for the month of January. I hope that so far 2022 has been kind to you. Obviously, it's still been the same roller coaster that's been going on for the past few years, but hopefully you can find some solace in my videos and just collecting and reading manga. Today, I'm going to be showing off all of the manga that I picked up in January. We have some pretty rare, really cool out-of-print gems to show off, as well as some new releases and just stuff that I'm really excited to finally have. So hopefully you guys do enjoy today's manga haul. If you guys do, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. Also, if you want to start working on a manga haul of your own, then make sure to go down in the description below and check out my Right Stuff link. You get manga for amazing prices. You also support the channel. Also, a key tip is that if you bookmark my Right Stuff link, then you don't have to come back to the video, check the description every single time you buy on Right Stuff. Just click the bookmark, and every time you'll be given my link. So you'll actually be supporting the channel every single time you buy from Right Stuff using my link if you have it bookmarked. Again, I really appreciate everybody who's bought stuff using my link. It really does help out the channel a whole lot. Also, I want you guys to go down to the comments below and leave a comment telling me what your personal favorite manga pickup of January was. I know we all have very different manga tastes, and maybe I'll be put onto something that you picked up this month. But with all of that being said, without any further ado, let's get right into this month's manga haul for January 2022. So first up here, if you guys remember back way back, like 2 weeks ago, then you remember when I put out my video talking about the manga that I want to pick up in 2022. One of the two big grail series that I talked about picking up this year is none other than Gunslinger Girl in the omnibuses, and this month I was able to pick up volumes 1 and 2 of the series. Here we have the first omnibus, volumes 1 through 3 in this book right here, and then the second omnibus is volumes 4 through 6, as you can see there on the spine. Very excited to have these two omnibus finally in my collection. In comparison to some of the later omnibuses in the Gunslinger Girl series, these ones are not quite as expensive, though they are pretty hard to find, but I definitely have my work still cut out for me in the future this year if I want to pick up this completed set. And I think that the best part is that I have absolutely no context or information about Gunslinger Girl. I'm going into this series completely blind, but I really love the art style. I think it's very cool, as well as the plot synopsis sounds pretty interesting, so I'm definitely looking forward to getting into Gunslinger Girl as the month goes on. Next up, we're going to be getting into some new manga releases, or at least pretty recent manga releases that I finally got to pick up, starting off with volume 7 of Blood on the Tracks by Shuzo Oshimi. You guys know that I'm absolutely loving Blood on the Tracks. It's a super creepy series about this mother and son who are way too close, and the mother is really overprotective to the lengths that she actually ends up hurting the other members of the family. The grim facial expressions and general art style are very unique to Shuzo Oshimi's style, and I feel like every single time at the very end of these volumes, there's always some crazy thing that happens that just has me dying to read the next volume. While definitely not for the faint of heart by any means, I would highly recommend you check out Blood on the Tracks if this series sounds like something that tickles your fancy. Next up for the new releases is something that I think came out, you know, maybe a month or two ago, but I'm finally getting my hands on one of my favorite series of all time. It's kind of a crazy thought that I haven't gotten this up until now, but here we have volume 23 of One Punch Man. Honestly, as this series goes on, I cannot sing the praises of One Punch Man enough. Just a brilliant shonen spoof series. It's really funny, action-packed, not to mention the beautiful art style. This volume in particular follows suit with the past few volumes, as we're underground fighting the Monster Society. You know, they sent in the S-Class heroes to fight various opponents. There's some great fights in this volume with people such as Zombie Man, Child Emperor, Atomic Samurai. You know, they all really get to shine in this volume, and this is probably one of the best One Punch volumes in recent memory. Of course, these volumes don't get released all too often, so you really do have to savor every single time one of these comes out. I don't know when volume 24 comes out, but needless to say, if volume 23 and the rest of One Punch Man is any indicator, it's going to be a banger volume for sure. Now consider everything that I just said about One Punch Man and elevate all of those levels like 500-fold, and now we're going to be talking about Vinland Saga. That is right, volume 12 finally came out after what seems like years, was actually years, but it brings me the greatest pleasure to finally hold volume 12, this beautiful hardcover here in my hands. Obviously, you guys know Vinland Saga is one of my favorite series of all time, actually my second favorite of all time, and it's been a hell of a long time since we got one of these volumes in English. But after countless heartbreaking delays, we finally have volume 12 of Vinland Saga. I'm definitely going to put off reading this for a while just to savor having it on the shelf so I don't have to wait even more years before the next volume comes out. If you have not, for whatever reason, hopped on Vinland Saga at this point in the game, I don't know what you're doing. Definitely get on it, watch the anime, read the manga. They're all fantastic ways to experience this amazing, masterful story. All right, so now we're going to get into some of the out-of-print manga that I picked up this month. We have some very rare and expensive volumes that I finally have in my possession, but starting things off, I actually bought some more copies of volumes that I previously owned, but trust me when I say wholeheartedly that the motive behind this purchase is extremely pointless. Here in my hands, I have volumes 4 through 7 of Sho Fumimura's Sanctuary. Now, as you guys may know, this is one of my favorite series of all time, I believe in my top 15 or top 20, but yeah, these volumes are very hard to track down nowadays, but I actually got some pretty good deals for these volumes in particular. Volumes 4, 5, and 6 here actually got for a very good deal from a viewer of the channel, so I'm super appreciative for that. And volume 7 here I've actually been missing from my collection for the longest time, and then Shoujo Senpai actually found a copy at her U-store, and she was gracious enough to send me this for what she bought it for. But the reason that I bought these volumes instead of just keeping the ones that I had is to get some spines with more vibrant colors, even just by a few hues, you know, that kind of stuff actually means a lot to me. So after finding a couple great deals for these volumes that I have here in my hands, I decided to pick these up, and now my collection just looks a lot prettier because of it. Now, the next volume that I picked up this month, I don't believe is actually out of print at this time, but I did pick this up at my U-store for half price, and I have never seen anyone else talk about this volume aside from one YouTube review that I watched after I read this. But here we have Disappearance's Diary. Disappearance's Diary is a one-volume story by Hideo Azuma where he basically accounts 3 separate instances where he basically said fuck it and just abandoned everything. The 3 chapters in this manga talk about when he first quit being a mangaka to basically just be homeless and, you know, eat out of the trash and basically just live to survive. Then the second chapter is where he got a job basically laying gas pipe. And then the third chapter is about how he became an alcoholic and actually had to go to an alcoholic ward to seek treatment. And though this manga may seem like a very depressing and downtrodden story, the way it's drawn and just the comedy make it very consumable for the everyday person. The classic manga art style that you may see similar to people like Osamu Tezuka, as Hideo Azuma is actually of that era of manga. In fact, basically the godfather or the father of lolicon, which I will choose to not go into any further in this video. But what I can say is that Disappearance's Diary was one of the most interesting and thought-provoking manga that I've read in quite a while. Alright, so before we get into the final rare out-of-print manga gem that I picked up this month to show off in this video, I want to show real quick that I got the first volume of the Solo Leveling light novel based on Base Senpai's video submission for my things we picked up in 2021 video. I decided to pick up the first volume of the Solo Leveling light novel and read it alongside the graphic novel that I have back there, as I have actually not gotten into it as of yet. But if you guys have read the light novel and or the graphic novel, let me know which one you think is better and how they stack up. Alright, so the moment you've all been waiting for, this big manga pickup that I'm just so pumped to have this early on into 2022. I said I really want to pick up this series as the year goes on in that one video I talked about earlier. But here we have some Rurouni Kenshin Vizbigs. Yes, sir, that is right. I finally got my hands on some of these very rare volumes. I'll go ahead and show off all of the brilliant covers of these beautiful Kenshin Vizbigs so you guys can see what they look like in entirety. Some of these covers look absolutely fantastic, but I actually got these volumes from a multitude of places such as Mercari and eBay, so I had to definitely scour for some deals on this series. But I think I did pretty good, all things considered, especially with some of the more rare volumes, such as this volume 8 here. And the best part is I actually have more of these Vizbigs coming in the mail. I just haven't gotten them yet to record this video, but I have 5 and 6, and then the only one I'll be missing left is volume 9, which is of course the big rare one that I'd be lucky to find for under $100. But yeah, with all that being said, I'm super glad to own these Vizbigs and finally have almost all of this series that I wanted to read for so long complete in my collection. Anyways guys, that's going to do it for this month's manga haul. Hope you guys did enjoy seeing all the manga that I picked up over the month of January. Some really rare stuff, as well as some new ongoing releases for series that I just cannot wait to get back into. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. So yeah, this has been the Prodigy. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And as always, hope to catch you in the next one.